Hello and welcome to the mains PYQ discussion by NeenvIAS. This is a question about the economic policies of the British. See the question, examine critically. That's the keyword. We have to examine critically the various facets of economic policies of British in India from mid 18th century till independence. So mid 18th century is 1757. You can take the Battle of Plassey to be a time. Since then you have British economic policies coming into India because they become the administrators after that. So we have to explain or critically examine the various facets of that since the independence time. In the introduction, we'll talk about the same thing. So here, instead of Battle of Plassey, we'll talk about Battle of Buxar because that's when Diwani and Nizamud rights are coming. This is when military control will come, but dual government is the scheme. Now even here, dual government is the scheme, but Diwani and Nizamud right is with the British. So we'll start with Buxar. In 1772, the first Governor General comes, then policies becomes official. In the body part, we have given 7 points. It's a 10 marker, but we have given 7 points here. First of all, see, from mercantile capitalism to industrial capitalism. That's the first point. Mercantile capitalism is a system where you deliberately try to increase your current account surplus through trade. They started like that, then they changed to industrial capitalism, where they will loot wealth from India, process it there, and they will sell it here. So that's the drain theory. So this is the first point. That's the one facet of the British economic policy. Next, land revenue systems. We'll give 3 examples: permanent settlement, mahalwari, rayatwari. The common nature of all was to extract the maximum surplus from Indian agricultural system. Third, international. This is international trade in favor of EIC alone. In 1600, the English East India Company received a charter from the Queen that gave monopoly to the English East India Company to trade with India. So their only competition was competitors of other countries. In Britain, they had no competitors. Portuguese, France, to all of them they fight wars. And the international trade out of India was tweaked completely in favor of the British. That's their economic policy. So high duty for goods from India to Europe and very low duty or tax exemption for goods that are coming from Europe or Britain. So that's the kind of trade policy they had. Then drain of wealth, something similar to the first point that we already mentioned: export of raw material, import of finished goods. Then another trade policy that they had, economic policy that they had, was the triangular trade, where opium was taken from India, it was taken to China. From China you take silk as well as tea, mainly tea, and you take it to Europe. This is the triangular trade. From Europe they bring bullion, and using this bullion, this will be taken, but later this bullion was done away with because they were getting money from the revenue of India itself. Once you got the Diwani right, so you get money from India, you use it in India, you buy goods, then you take it to China, you sell opium there, then this opium will be converted to tea as means of trade, and it will go to Europe. That was the system. Then systematic deindustrialization. This is in link with the drain of wealth. So that declined the artisan class. Then the domestic market also got integrated through railways. So when we talk about British economic policies, we have to bring all of them: their nature of trade, their external trade policy, their land policy, the drain of wealth, deindustrialization, triangular trade. So almost all the points have come here. Now after this, we'll conclude this. What was the aftermath of all this? The aftermath was India, from being the richest country before the advent of the British, became one of the poorest countries in the world, the countries with one of the largest poor population in the world in 200 years time, which is mid 18th century to the time of independence, that is 1947. So the aftermath, will complete this. We'll start this with the beginning and we'll end this with the aftermath, and here we'll explain the process. So that's the answer. Thank you for listening.